Dual swords, without a doubt, are the strongest weapon in the history of Neo, and it's not even close. Not only has it never been nerfed in any meaningful way, it is stronger now than it has ever been, and it makes my head spin a bit. So I wanted to talk about it. One, because it's crazy, and two, because these kind of topics are always funny to make, because it attracts a certain kind of player, a contrarian, let's call them. Without fail, there will be at least one guy who won't even hear what's being said in the video. They'll open it, they'll dislike it, and immediately they'll go to the comments and argue counterpoints like, well, actually, the axe can one shot with a proper min max, and katana or tonfa. If if you see that guy, laugh at them. just put a big fat LOL and do not elaborate any further, like the Giga Chast that you are. For everyone else, let's talk about it. Hi. Hi there. I'm Shape, by the way. So, over a year, yeah, over about a year ago, I made a video about dual swords for Neo 2, glossing over this fact a little bit. I was honestly joking when I was talking about the weapon, but the more I joked about it, the more I realized, wait a minute. Oh, wow. Wait, that's a thing this weapon can actually do, huh? And that, and that. The point of the original video was that I did a crazy challenge in Neo 2, and it was only possible because of the dual swords. I did a no death, no elixir challenge for that game where I went from fresh new game save all the way to the highest new game plus without dying once, without using a single elixir, purely for the flex. And when I say that, I don't mean I played it like a coward, right? I didn't run past every mob and called it raps. No, I did every mission, every side mission. I ducked zero phase and I ran through the entire game like a total crazy person. And I did it again purely off the strength of this weapon because it was so brain dead easy. I made it to the absolute end game, Dream of the Neo. Using this weapon, I beat Ren Hayabusa, Saito, Neo Tengu, Kukai. You name it, I did it. Again, every every mission without coming close to dying. All the threats down. I was on the last mission of the final DLC. And you know what took me out? If you say Nightmare Bringer, yeah. Let me cut this music. If you say Nightmare Bringer killed me, I'm reporting you to the local authorities. Don't ever in your life come to my channel and disrespect me like that again, okay? Ahem. So, I was at the final mission before hitting the underworld in Neo 2. Everything else had been cleared easily. I was so hyped to see how far I could go. I was pretty sure I could go to the depths even. And that would be the greatest flex for me, getting to the depths of Neo 2 without dying a single time, without using a single elixir. Oh yeah. I was thinking so many steps ahead that it clouded my vision and got me killed in the goofiest way. The only reason I died, the only reason, was because I got taken out not by like a trash mob, not by a boss, no Nightmare Bringer. Again, I am not playing with you. The Power Rangers have triangulated your position and they are ready to strike you down. I dare you to try to be funny in the comments. But the thing that took me out, just check it out. But I mean, who uses blue graves beyond like the first NG? Oh, that's the run. Oh, wow. Sheesh. Well, that's the run. I forgot all about. A boulder. A boulder? A boulder. Are you kidding me? A boulder. My boy Ari on Twitch, I swear to God, has this clip bookmarked. And after about a year, even, he still terrorizes me like a jump scare that I can never get over. But that's beside the point. The point is that the run itself shouldn't have been that easy. And it wouldn't have been that easy if I used any other weapon but dual swords. But why is that? What makes that the case? Well, let's check it out. Actually, let's start with the biggest offender, firm resolve. Why does this skill exist? No, really. It's not rhetorical. What was Team Ninja smoking when they decided, hey, you know what would be good and balanced? Firm resolve makes it so that this weapon is uncontested in terms of survivability, period. Uncontested. Across all other weapons, no other Mystic Art gives you damage reduction at all, but this stupid skill alone gives you up to 40% damage reduction, and it takes less than a second to get it going passively through attacking. Meaning, as long as you are swinging them things, you have constant damage mitigation. And if you have any kind of sustain or additional defenses, like even the most basic of heavy armor, guess what? You just don't die. Because understand, you are you are literally just taking half damage at all times. If you go all in on defenses, you take scratch damage from everything, regardless of what you're facing. In Nioh 2, this held up scarily well. Again, even in Dream of the Nioh, even against bosses in Dream of the Nioh, they couldn't 1, 2, 3, or 4 shot me. I was comfortably taking hits on the highest difficulty with a heavy armor setup. I'll link the build in the description. Feel free to try that out whenever. That alone should be enough, I feel like. That, I mean, this could be the whole video. The fact that Dual Swords offers something that no other weapon does, for free, mind you, because it triggers whenever you do damage. Like, Axe has Adamantine, or whatever it's called, and that is a buff that literally slows you down while it's active. And the casting speed for it is awful. And it's a buff that doesn't stack with other defense buffs. Meanwhile, you can stack Firm Resolve with defensive boosts no problem because it is its own unique form of defense that doesn't compete for that defensive buff slot. You get it? What other weapon makes you an unkillable god? None? Literally none. Then that's it. That could be the whole argument for why this is the best. But Unc, I'm kinda goaded. I don't take damage. Momentum exists. If you're so good, you don't take damage and you don't need firm resolve, momentum lets you attack forever. If you're so good, it dramatically lowers your ki consumption in the same way that firm resolve would increase your defense. And you need that for water sword. Oh, what's water sword? I'm glad you asked. Come on, get parried. Why's it gotta make it so complicated? Water sword. That's pretty good. I agree. I like Pathfinder. Do dual swords have crazy one shots? Maybe, actually. I don't know. maybe not. I don't know. But 100% for sure, dual swords have this stupid thing. With this skill equipped, dual swords effectively become a water sword engine, which turns dicey enemies into diced enemies. You can absolutely decimate anything with a well-placed water sword. My water sword machine looks at your one-shotting axes and just sighs in boredom. And then it blends that weapon because it's better. Dual Swords' answer to one shots is simple million shotting the enemy to death in seconds while they can do nothing but get comfy and watch their HP go down while they're being stunlocked. Ain't that about the craziest? And that's just one of its oppressive options. Insane defense from Firm Resolve, insane offense from Water Sword, but that's not all. When we talk about insane defense and offense, I can't help but think of another crazy thing about Dual Swords. Mind's Eye. What's Mind's Eye gives you extra iframes at the end of your dodge on low stance. So if you're a god and can dodge like a god, you can trigger this frequently. And if you're bad at dodging, guess what? You can trigger it frequently. Extra iframes is it's a pretty mediocre bonus, but that by itself isn't standout. It's not the reason I'm bringing it up. The egregious part is that this skill has an upgrade, Mind's Eye 2, that will buff you. It will buff your attack by around 80%. 80, 80%. And you can trigger this as much as you want. There is no limit or cooldown when doing it. Imagine being bad at dodging. Just imagine. For the very free price of dodging your enemy's attacks, you can almost double your attack power. I repeat, what is this weapon? No other weapon gives you a buff remotely as high for something as free as that. Dodge, 80% damage bonus. What? And that is on top of having more iframes. What? Tonfa actually has the same exact skill for iframes, but they named it different. But you know what Tonfas don't have with that skill? An 80% damage boost tied to it. What I main Tonfa since Nioh 1, and Spear, of course, since Nioh 1 and 2. Tonfa getting the bad end of this deal for 3 games running straight now makes me sad. But that's fine now because I just main Dual Swords and Spear. Friendship ended with Tonfa. Dual Swords is Shape's new best friend. You know what puts it over the top for me? Deflecting cut. And ain't no reason for this weapon to get this move. Why is it the only weapon in the game that has a direct response after deflecting? Other weapons have a skill that can activate if you proc a deflect, like Odachi's Cuckoo Call or Soul Devourer from Axe. Those are some neat skills, but they require setup because you need to sync the attack to coincide with the deflect. The only thing that deflecting cut requires is for you to block. What? Why? Why is it the only weapon that can do that? That is insane functionality and utility coming from Dual Swords. And don't even get me started on its traditional parries. The Shrike has been a top 3 parry skill since Nioh 1, and Heavily Flow in Nioh 3 can now coexist with it, which means you now have an option to just parry enemies in high stance and get what? A 40% attack buff from Flow? Or just style on them as per usual with Shrike. Bro, unmatched defensive bonuses, unmatched offensive bonuses, unmatched evasive bonuses. Dual Swords is the only weapon in the game that has functionality after a successful deflect. Water Sword just exists. Speaking of Water Sword, by the way, do you know that they buffed Random Slice? What was that, Team Ninja? What are you smoking? Now we have a mobile Water Sword, and it is absolutely unhinged. And don't even get me started on Sign of the Cross, which has been oppressive since day one in Nioh 1, where it crumpled every human to the ground in perfect loops, where you can get them to from 100% of the health to 0% of the health very easily. And now it has a stronger variant. You gave it increased range with a Pierce variant. What? God of Wind, which again is one of the most oppressive skills in the game and was insanely spammable to boot, has gone untouched since Nioh 1 to boot. Wait, let's stop and think about that. Ain't it crazy how many outright oppressive and unique things Dual Swords have going for it? I could go on. Wind Sword is now free from Water Sword prison. No longer does it compete with a slot for one of the most ridiculous skills in the game, and it can now truly shine. Winter Wind, which is one of the most effective pressure skills in the game. And also, it is a key pulse attack, which is also something not all weapons in the game can do. And this is something that it does super well because it chases down enemies, and I can go on. And remember, folks, I'm not saying this lightly. I'm not saying it's the best lightly. I do this at my own expense because Spear is my personal goat of goats, and in my heart, it will always be the best. But if we are being real, if we put personal agendas and feelings aside, Dual Swords are just the most insane weapon in Nioh 3. Not even Nioh 3, Nioh 1 and 2. 3 games running now. There is obviously a secret cabal of dual sword cultists at Team Ninja HQ, and they must be stopped. That's it. They must be stopped. We need to tell them to chill out on buffing dual swords and buff spears instead. Disagree? Let me know in the comments. I want to know what you feel is the best weapon. If not dual swords, what competes with dual swords? Put your personal feelings aside. Again, if I could do it for spear, I don't want to hear your nonsense. What are we talking about here? I want to make a video for every weapon in Neo 3, just like this one. Let me know if you like this video, actually. Let me know what you wish I talked about, what you like me to cover in the other weapon videos. I might just. You guys ever watch Infinite Cringe's Dragon's Dogma video where she calls everything OP? I feel like I could go that route for this game and these weapons because it wouldn't be wrong. Also, it wouldn't be a bad route to take because every weapon has something that's really unique or really great about it. But dual swords, as we just discussed, as I just ranted for, this is a long video. Anyway. That's something for future me to figure out. For now, thanks for watching. Love you. Peace.